session of the first day of the International Conference on Educational Futures. The theme of this session is Alternative Technologies for Self-Reliance. We have three speakers in this session. The first speaker is Mr. Khunkarsida Kamyatar Sankom from Thailand. He is chairman of Selenium Company and also chairman of Thai Gypsum Products. He has played a key role to establish Eco Village in Thailand and is known for it. He is a researcher and producer of vanadium regenerative fuel cell. He is pioneer in the Eco Village for the Thailand and also expert in the prefabricated houses. So I'll request him to kindly present during this panelist discussion his rich experience regarding these technologies.
Yes. This is blocking. Okay. Okay. ได้ยินผมไหมได้ยินครับเดี๋ยวผม let me speak in Thai a bit so that they coordinate with me เดี๋ยวผมจะ brief นิดหน่อยเรื่องราวก่อนแล้วเดี๋ยวมันจะเป็นเรื่องของquestion answer ที่เดี๋ยวเขาเปิดเขามี technical จะได้ถามนะได้ครับ what I'm doing I think has a very important should have a very important benefit to India in the near future because we've been specialized in this special type of storage, large-scale electrical storage technology for the last 25 years, more than that really. And our group is the pioneer. It's the first in the world to have the patent on vanadium redox flow in 1978. And since then, we've been working on this technology for some time. The reason that I kept believing in this technology is because it's the only electrical storage system today that had indefinite shelf life. Okay, the discharge cycle does not have any memory effects on the main system, that is electrolyte. It has this special characteristic of indefinite shelf life. Secondly, it's very suitable to store large-scale energy into the system because the kilowatt hour and kilowatt is independent. Okay, the kilowatt hour will be due to the amount of electrolyte you have. So it means that if you have 1 kilowatt 1 hour today and you said, no, I want 100 hours, all you have to do is increase the amount of electrolyte into the system. So it means that the only system that the more you store energy, the lower average cost per kilowatt hour will be. And if you want, in case of India, where you have a lot of off-grid population, from the last check that I did 2 years ago from, I think, World Bank statistic, the people who live off-grid in India is around 500 million people. And when you have that 500 million people, the choice in the macro policy is you want to go with the grid-based, large centralized generation system, the conventional that everybody use, and you have to import a lot of oil, gas, or coal, and you have to have tentacle everywhere. We call that system spaghetti system. Spaghetti system, because you have to have a wire everywhere from the generator. Or you want a decentralized system we call a star system, where you generate where you need it most and you use it there. Okay, because the price of solar cell come down so much that 7 years ago it used to be $7.50 per peak watt. It dropped down this year, last year to 60 cents. Now it's coming down to 30 cents latest per peak watt. Dramatic decrease. But without large scale storage, all you can do is to have that solar power as your auxiliary load, not for auxiliary, not for the main base load. Main base load, I mean that you want to use electricity from the sun and the wind 24 hours, 365 days a year. You need a large scale reservoir instead of a stock like a dam. You store water. Here with electrolyte, you store electricity. Okay, and so it means that this technology will enable a renewable energy to be used as a main base load, which I think will be very beneficial to everyone concerned because then you don't need to import fuel. You don't need to bring in gasoline or diesel from anywhere. And now the challenge that we had when we developed this is that the last 3 years we have a lot of challenge in power electronic because most of the power electronic that available in the market made for lead acid battery and lithium battery, not from vanadium. Vanadium has a special characteristic that you can store 100%, discharge down to zero, and charge up again. But by doing that, discharge down to zero, the voltage drop is much more than the normal. Okay, and that was a bottleneck. But now we're able to get one of the major producer to adjust that already. And we try to come up with our own power electronic tool that tailor-made for the system. Where we are now is that we are successful in marketing to Japan. It's not that big yet, but we have been doing this for several years, and now they're buying more from us. They buy a much bigger system from us, from 1 to 2 kilowatt at a time. Now they're buying 20 kilowatt. And the next one after this, they want to buy in a megawatt scale. Meanwhile, we are the government provide a grant for us to propose recently, only like last 4 weeks ago, and we submit our proposal. And we will be doing a large scale prototype for grid scale. Now we're going to do 1 megawatt system for 20 hours. And another one for the house, for the solar house, 15 kilowatts PV, 6 kilowatt power, and 75 kilowatt hour storage. And this house, when we designed it, we realized that every house for the radiation of Thailand, which I think very similar to India, for 15 kilowatt PV, we can obtain 75 kilowatt hour a day. You will get normally about 5 hours average. And the house, when we pre-design it so that it's very energy efficient and try to use as much DC as possible, we can keep the consumption, including air conditioning, to about 30 kilowatt hour. And then we have a charging station for a small electric car, Mitsubishi electric car. They will consume about 15 to 17 kilowatt hour, in which they can go 120 kilometer without any more charge. Then we can have surplus of 30 kilowatt hour to sell back to the grid. That was the proposal to the government. And this is a project we are ongoing doing for the Provincial Electric Authority. It's ongoing, but it has some setback, some political setback that we have to overcome. Meanwhile, we are doing a first project for national housing. And we tried, and I think they buy the concept already. They can see that because national housing built about 70,000 houses a year, so it means that they have the most rooftop area every year available. So they really click into the proposal, and we are pursuing that at the moment. And so this is a brief. I like to brief you briefly, but I would prefer that because I have my technical people on the other side, that in case anybody had any question, specific question, I think it will be better and more constructive for us. Please.
So first of all, the question is that this very battery,
From what?
this very storage device of yours, battery, vanadium,
Yes.
is it implemented somewhere?
Simply what?
Working? Is it, have you done any projects with this?
Yes, yes, we do project for PTT, Petroleum Authority of
What
Thailand.
was the capacity of the project?
Huh?
What was the like you are doing for 1 megawatt now?
Now 1 megawatt. That one is 5 kilowatt.
That was
5 kilowatt, 12
What
hours.
was the cost for the sensor?
For the small scale, we price it at $3,500 per watt, per peak, per kilowatt.
3,000.
$500 per kilowatt. And for the kilowatt hour, we price it at $350 per kilowatt hour. That's the price we sell to the Japanese. So it means that if you have 1 kilowatt and 10 kilowatt hour, so it's 3,500 plus 3,500. So it's $7,000 for 1 kilowatt 10 hours. So it means that 1 kilowatt 10 hours cost per kilowatt hour is $700. But if you do 20 hours, the average cost will come down. You see, so it'll be 3,500 plus 7,000. So 10,000, but divided by 20, so it becomes 500. The one that we're quoting the government is 20 hours. Because if you're going to do purely on solar, you need to stock up your reservoir at least 4 days. Yes.
But is the same is workable with a hybrid inverter? I need to say that if the system is on-grid system
Yes.
and along with it battery is done, like
Yes.
the storage device can be connected. In that case, a hybrid inverter is used.
Hybrid
If the grid is not supplying the electricity, we have a storage device to which we are using. Then it is very beneficial in that case.
You mean two-way, right? Two-way with the grid?
With grid also,
Yes.
the grid is not generating the electricity.
Yes.
It is working in the off-grid situation.
Yes.
Means the reference voltage is taken from the device.
Yes. The one that we designed for PA will be a grid connected, two-way. They can buy and sell with the grid.
Are you
They-
planning to do in India? Where some site is
Yeah, we are in an exploratory stage now, try to learn what you needed most. I'm sure India had big demand for this because of your off-grid situation.
so being in market, you get a lot of queries. Like they wanted to go for a battery as well as on grid. In your case, we can try your this vanadium thing somewhere, wherever some requirement of that nature is there. But only thing is they ask about the performance security. With everything because like in our natural system for 1 kilowatt, we are generating 4.66 kWh per day, or efficiency of 1400 kWh per annum. By using your this battery, how is we going to benefit? Price and all those calculation and financial viability need to be checked.
Yes, yes, yes. That can be looked at. I think that's not our priority now. Now, priority now for us is to learn what, because it has so many applications. Okay, this technology have a role to play from the generation to transmission to distribution and to end user. And we are in the process of gauging which one should we start with, which one that will be benefit us both long term. Okay, and this testing there and there, it doesn't much matter to us because we sell to the Japanese. If we can sell to the Japanese, it's the most difficult export market in the world to do that. Okay, and then for Japan now, it's compulsory to have storage. So like India now, I come and I have the first field, tell you what I have, and I try to learn which is your priority. Is your rural people You need this to run your air conditioning or to produce food or produce clean water from salt water, from recycled water. What is your priority? Your priority is for the entrepreneur, rich people live in urban or in the rural. You know, you have to make these assessments and tell me. And then I'm more interested in how can we have a long-term collaboration that have a long-term, because this is the beginning of a very new paradigm. Reduction oxidation have very big role to play. It's not only storage, it can be a complete electrochemical combustion engine too. It's a real fuel cell. So like I'm doing with the Chinese government now want to join with me for long term, join invest, join cooperate, bring the best mind together with us. Will India have the same mentality? You know, that is why I am here to explore, really. Now, you know, both Japanese, but the most serious now is the Chinese, because they really push for the solar system. Their Silk Road, they will have a big demand. I'm trying to learn from you about how best to begin, really, and how best to set up a corporation. Because like in Thailand, we work with 3 universities. We work with Khon Kaen University, we work with Chulalongkorn University, and we work with Burapha. We work with Burapha on aquaculture. We want to apply. We want to use our system to apply to the real work in the field. Run air conditioning is not so much interesting. I like it to produce food.
To match the perception, when we talk,
Yes,
you have a perception which is based on your experience in
yes,
Thailand.
yes,
When he's questioning you, his perception is based on
yes, yes,
Indian setup.
yes.
You see, in India, generally speaking, generation is one part, storage is another, transmission is yet another. Now, what he's talking about is the generation and storage is together.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So that's the next part of your problem of storage. But then we have a wide matrix of lead acid battery
Mm-hmm.
onwards to lithium-ion battery,
Lithium, yes,
and the cadmium battery in the past,
yes.
and now in coming times maybe the supercapacitors,
Mm.
the ultra capacitors.
The ultra, yes.
But the ultra capacitor, though being a very good, very efficient technology, confines itself to storage. So
Food.
the storage, only storage.
Yes,
There is no generation part.
yes,
The advantage here is that it's a system which generates power,
yes,
builds up a reservoir, so there is no off-peak in this case. And if you're basing yourself on solar, for instance, so you will be getting 10 to 11 hours of insolation. So you store that, build up, and when required, release that energy, the flywheel is inbuilt. So that's one advantage. So from that angle, it can be looked at. I found it very interesting.
Yes, very
So, at least in near future, I cannot dream of getting enough capacity for ultra capacitor, which are very expensive, at the moment very large. Though in coming times, they will offer a very good solution, maybe in combination with even with this technology. So it's just to
yes,
even out what you're trying to say.
yes, yes,
I just convey to you.
Sir, during your lecture, I was
Yes.
trying to get some one point which you already told. How much is the storage of this device and the space and the storage?
For the 6 kilowatt, 75 kilowatt hour system that we designed for provincial electric authority houses, provincial electric authority house,
Okay.
they are like a monopoly grid in Thailand.
How big
It's,
is the battery?
it is require a footprint of 3 by 2 meter, 6 meter, 6 square meter. ใช่ไหมพี่เทพ 6 square meter.
Yeah, about that, yes. Tank is tall.
The tank, yes. ไม่ทั้งสแต็กกับแทงมัน6 ตารางเมตรไม่ใช่เหรอ3 คูณ 2
5 3 คูณ 3อะไรเงี้ยประมาณ
3 by 3. 3 by 3
3 by 3
Okay.
meter.
meter. And what is the nature of the electrolytes?
It's vanadium sulfate, vanadium that dilute in
Is
the
liquid form or
in liquid form.
liquid form?
It had 4 oxidation stage, and you can when we buy vanadium pentoxide in solid form, we dissolve it in acid. We have a technology that will reduce the oxidation down to V2O3 and V2O4. V2O3 we put in a negative electrode, V2O4 in the positive electrode. So when it charged, V2O4 will increase to V2O5, oxidation side, and reduction side, V2O3 reduced to V2O2. With that 5 and 2 will provide you with the electric potential. And when you release the electricity, then come down to 3 and 4 again. This process of charge discharge cycle, you can go on forever.
What I can understand is that you have to keep on adding the electrolyte.
No, closed system. Unless you want more kilowatt hour. It's a closed system. But this technology, the pattern that we have is more than just storage. But that we have developed the prototype to prove the conversion, but we have not yet developed to a product yet. We still need a little more work. I think 2 or 3 years more work to
I
make.
think its question is, you have an electrolyte,
Yes,
that's a closed system.
yes,
You said you reduce the oxidation reduction
yes,
potential
yes. By put electricity. Yes,
by putting electricity.
yes,
Is that right?
right.
So the source of energy is electrical.
Electrical.
Right?
But because of this pattern, this technology, you can charge it chemically too.
Yeah.
That means that the reduction side, you can make it react with any type of liquid carbohydrate.
Yeah.
And the positive side, you make it react with oxygen. And that will give the electric potential equivalent to 42% efficiency in electrochemical combustion. The normal internal combustion is only 18%.
The situation
Yes.
would be
Yes.
if we initiate the electrical input,
Yes.
and that at the end of the day you're going to get an electrical output again.
Yes.
Then it is acting only as storage device.
Yes.
In case you're going to generate it chemically
Yes.
and then getting electricity on the output, then it's a generation and storage together.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
Just to put it.
Sir,
Yeah.
how much is the retention for this storage once it's charged?
Retention, what do you mean?
Like photovoltaic is producing electricity,
Yes.
and if not consumed at the source, it is going into the battery.
Yes.
How much is the retention for that?
If you keep it in the electrolyte tank, it will be like that forever. No self-discharge.
That's
Yes.
that's wonderful, sir.
Yes. It's a closed
amazing
system.
thing.
Yeah, that's why I told him that India need this technology more than anybody else.
So in other words, if you're putting it with the solar, the
ผมโมเก่งไหม
converted into electricity. Not by the
How that's done?
but then the
That
device
battery
go
stored.
it goes on storing.
เขาสนใจมากนี่เป็นพวก technical people นี่ broadcast ทั่วประเทศเลยนะ
Whenever you want to draw out, you can retain till then.
But normal batteries, they drain out.
Right. This no, if it's in the electrolyte tank, when you drain everything in the stack out to the tank and kept it there, it will always be there. No self-discharge. Yes.
Because if you hear about the best of the brands like Tesla,
Yes.
Tesla is doing a lot of research in batteries and all.
Yeah.
Because in Australia, because their great tariff, feed-in tariff is reducing, people are going from on-grid to off-grid.
Yes. Tesla does not have their own storage technology. They depend on Panasonic lithium technology. The plant that they build only the building for the Panasonic to run. And the scale that they're talking about they will consume 1 year, equivalent to 1 whole year of lithium. Now, if they solve a problem or technical problem, you think they can solve the economic problem? You think price will stay the same when immediately next year consumption increased by double? That's one point I want to make. The second point is that lithium is good for when you need small volume, lower weight, high density. Yes, but it had a life. I think it's no more than 3,000 cycles. But the problem when you're going to use this for utility, the Japanese just tested recently inที่ไหนนะ Hokkaido โลกานิวานะ
Hokkaido.
Hokkaido, what's the scale นะ 20 megawatt ใช่ไหม
About that 30 megawatt.
30 megawatt, both vanadium and lithium. In the beginning, they found that lithium efficiency is higher than vanadium, 80%, and vanadium 70%. But immediately as they do the charge-discharge cycle, the deterioration takes place with lithium. It's going down like that. Why this will remain very constant. That's why now I think the Japanese, they know that it has to be this route for at least utility scale. Yes. So, any
basically, what is the maintenance and lives basically of this
life
wise and the maintenance part?
We have a very I think we have much more deeper knowledge than other producer in this field in the topic of keep the balance of electrolyte automatically online. We have a system that they will self-correct its imbalance, and we try to use computer intelligence to do that. But normally we require minimum. But for this type of technology to be successful, we do need a strong after-sales service. You cannot think like a battery that you put into the light flash, You have to, it's a complex system. And that's what we try to build on in Thailand at the moment. That's why we work with university to build up the people who can do system design, system, and can quickly help solve the problem when it take place. That's why we work with these 3 universities in Thailand at the moment. Because I think the scale that will require is going to be so huge that we will never be able to build up our own organization fast enough to taking down the demand. So we try to find the right type of alliance to ensure the long-term success of the project. Yes.
The concept is very good. But, two constraints which I can foresee compared to the alternative systems available.
Yes.
One is the space requirement.
Yes.
At the moment, that happens with every device.
Yes.
Start very big.
Yes.
Then there's a miniaturization which takes place over a period of time. The concept as such is absolutely acceptable and desirable.
Yes.
Only thing you need to work more on dematerialization.
Yes.
Bringing down in size, which will also have cost implications.
Yes.
As you were mentioning in the morning session about your
software.
Sugar.
Carbohydrate fuel cell.
Energy.
Yes.
And where you mentioned perhaps about 2 kilo,
1 kilogram of carbohydrate will give you 1.85 kilowatt hour.
Which means on an average about if I take it as 50 rupees pricing, so literally about 25 rupees per kilowatt hour in Indian context. So commercially, may not be a very great idea. But in the defense services, it's very frequently, the sugar cells are being frequently used for installations which are standalone. So it would depend upon where you are going to use it.
Tribal areas, isolated where the British.
And in the same way, the vanadium is going to be a much, let's say, sturdier,
Yes.
comparatively cheaper.
Yes.
to ours. It theoretically has an infinite storage, though it can certainly not be always infinite, because every material has a half-life. So the longer the half-life, the more stable is the material. But then, if I compare it with, let's say, the ultracapacitors, it's a solid-state device.
Yes.
It doesn't use any liquid.
It's good in power, but the kilowatt hour, the duration is very short.
Yeah, you see the entire philosophy behind ultracapacitor is how to have
Quick.
quick
Yes.
charge up and slow discharge.
But will be a perfect marriage with vanadium.
I think both of them together is fantastic.
That's what we're working on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It will decrease the cost per
Eventually, you need
kilo.
a solid state
Yes.
device which has an infinite life.
Yes.
Nothing else can have it other than a capacitor can have it. The origin of a philosophy of battery was the ideal battery is one which charges up quickly, discharges slowly. And a capacitor has always been a quick discharge equipment, which is required more for a primary type of use. But the ultracapacitor have by now developed to a stage that it has a charge of something like 20 minutes and discharge of about 4 hours, which is fairly good. And the Zen motors are used it in, I think, 2010 perhaps,
Yes.
in Canada, to actually produce a car.
Now in Thailand, they're working on using graphene to produce capacitor,
Graphene.
supercapacitor.
No, see, graphene is a step further for getting a better quality of
Yes.
supercapacitor.
Yes. We're working on that at the moment. That what I like to know is India working on graphene at all? How far are you on the graphene?
We have developed graphene from cane sugar, cane, the sugar cane stack itself.
Yeah. We make it from algae. Algae.
Great.
Yes.
Yes.
So this is the field that we are working with our government in doing that. And that one of the field that the Chinese want to work with us in combining
It's very
graphene.
interesting that in 1999, in the Kyoto University lab, I saw an Indian researcher working on how to reduce
Yes.
the oil content of algae.
Yes.
And I asked him, in fact, he was working on fishes. So the fish which is eaten raw, if it has oil, it won't give you good taste. So he was converting the DNA, RNA modification to have lesser oil in the livestock. So I suggested to him, then why not try it on algae? And by making the modification, let's increase the oil content of that. And we touched 55%. Only 55% of the total mass is oil. It became a very energy efficient process where the carbon dioxide consumed generates more fuel to have a greater carbon dioxide gas. It was an energy surplus process. Likewise, that algae could be used for generating graphene. It can be
Yes, yes. That they've said is the best. Because
I think in NITTR we would be very keen to.
yeah, that's why we like to use this opportunity to explore where Indians are at on this type of subject
Certainly.
and what are the direction, what are the priorities, and how can we structure a long-term collaboration.
Definitely.
That's what I'm really here. You know, and that's what I like Nada to help me explore and set up. Yes, it has to be good business.
Of course,
It should be a business that really, really.
No, we fundamentally, in this forum where we are
Yes.
talking, believe that technology has to be applied research.
Commercially. Yes.
For us, it is an applied research.
Yes,
There are
athletic.
many institutions in India,
Yes.
very high institutions, which work on pure sciences. Well, we leave that to them. As a way concerned is, it's like converting the available knowledge. I'm not talking of inventions. An innovative application of knowledge to achieve certain commercial purposes.
May I ask, in your grid system, do you have the two prices system, time of use?
Yes,
You do?
yes. We
What
have
are the
structure.
price difference?
No, you see, there are the different states have different structure. So how we call it, we don't use this word terminology. Which we use. We say that something like a commitment charge. I take from the power supply company
Hmm.
a commitment of load. So how much I will be buying. That's one. So there's a demand charge.
Yeah,
And there's a consumption charge.
In Thailand, because most of the generation are all thermal, so at nighttime they cannot close it down. So they have to have create a lot of dummy load at nighttime, and the dummy load each day is 1 gigawatt hour. So we're proposing a storage for the bus, where we will buy off peak after 10 o'clock. The normal price daytime is 4.8 baht per kilowatt hour. At nighttime, it's only 1.2 baht, 4 times difference. So we'll, instead of have a dummy load, take all this 1 gigawatt. We absorb in a large scale storage and uses. The idea is to use this for bus mass transport. Now we're working on with one bus company in converting their 800 bus to the system and working on the banks on financing at the moment. Electric mobility on bus is ideal because vanadium is ideal because then you can fast charge by changing electrolyte. You see, otherwise charging the bus electrically, even quick charge, would take several hours to do that, and a lot of waste and a lot of stress on your grid. But this is what we plan to do. So
Something similar is being done for the aircraft.
aircraft.
So when a plane comes, it lands, it stays, it
But,
has to be.
but this is very heavy. I mean, because
No,
of
no. The source is kept outside the plane. It only charges up to. The storage system inside it, whatever given, no interference with.
yes.
This
And
is one application area.
and one policy that we are trying to, and I think the government convinced, is we trying to tell the government that not one Thailand had this technology. Why not try to get all the food production, food preservation, and food distribution off fossil fuel quickly? Because otherwise, when the geopolitical crisis going on like this, volatility price going on like this, and all the food production, food distribution, food preservation depending on fossil fuel, you're going to have a lot of instability in your social order. The price of food will dry right away when the price of oil rise. And in Jakarta, immediate riot in 6 hours. And if you leave this policy where it is in India, leave it on the fossil fuel in food production, everything depends on gasoline, diesel. This risk is there, big time, this time. So,
Totally agree.
so well, maybe food production is one of the priority. Maybe mass transportation is another priority. Maybe rural area is another priority because you need cold storage for your medicine distribution, right? Is still a problem. Something like that we like to have a instead of jumping that immediately. We like to see the big picture of all this and calibrate it and focus.
So eventually, everything boils down to making it commercially viable.
Because we are doing it in Thailand, and then you can have you can when it's running in a few months' time, then we like you to invite you to see the real thing, and they can be, because when we were going to ship the system to Dada, I want to people to be trained how to operate it, how to troubleshoot it. You have to understand the system first, and then set the system here. You see. So actually, we designed a system for India already, conceptually, to produce food. You know, the type of mass food that is high protein, you know, normal starch, massively by use renewable energy from vanadium battery. And I will give you more information through Dada to give it to you.
So one question in my mind is, when we talk in the Indian perspective, if I'm addressing people sitting out there and I say use the word solar and solar energy, immediately the perception which goes around is photovoltaic.
Mhm.
Right? We do not seem to realize that sun's energy is great lot thermal. And if we switch over to thermal, then the system doesn't have to be changed. The steam raising and turbine system will remain the same. The distribution will remain the same. It's only the heat source for the water to be converted into steam, which is to be changed.
In that case, a CSP there, concentrated solar power.
Yes.
You can use it.
That is one which has, not that it's unknown or I'm talking very new. But the moment I say solar, the perception of an investor is photovoltaic. Whereas, under our Indian conditions, the energy of sun, heat is very important. That must be utilized. And maybe if you have something in that direction,
Solar thermal?
if we use the thermal energy of sun, which is very abundantly available in India.
We're thinking of that, and we're thinking of looking back to the Stirling engine, because it means that if we have a, you know, India have a big long coastline too, same as Thailand. So the delta T that we can create near the coastline, that's the electrical source of energy.
Yes.
You see, and so Stirling is a known science. How can we revive that and use a Stirling engine for that? That's what we've been toying on, looking around for that. For thermal. Thermal.
We are very keen.
Yeah. So, so maybe this is one subject that we can explore working together. You know, with university here, university in Thailand, and us on some new thing like Stirling, advanced Stirling engine, pistonless Stirling engine.
It might seem very,
So that I can get the reason I want it, because then I can gauge the level of expertise you have. You see, we can mobilize on the Thai side, the right person, and then we'll add on more things to the system.
well, as a hunch, I can say it would be the cheapest source of energy
Yes.
ever possible.
Yes.
No other alternative can match it. We are able to tap the thermal energy from sun and convert it. That will be the cheapest.
You have any more deep technical question you want to ask? Because I have people ready to clarify for you.
What is the power factor of that expertise?
Power factor?
Power factor. Like the power factor we are getting
Power
from
factor.
outside.
Huh?
0.9.
Power factor.
Power factor.
เขาถามเรื่อง power factor of the battery. Huh?
Power factor is not part of our system. We have a DC system. So that would be in the transmission and distribution.
What?
If we are consuming that electricity, that has to be AC.
Then you need a inverter.
Inverter is
Yeah, inverter.
What I mean to understand is like in solar power, If we have photovoltaic we are using without battery. So that is having a better power factor than outside, the grid. Grid is sometimes go from 0.98, 97, 96. If the power factor reduces, naturally we will have a losses in power and harmonic uh, quality of the electricity is not good. In that case, our bill will be raised. So in case solar is the purest form. Means it is very good in case power factor is 0.9 exactly. In this case, if we are using the electricity, how will we like the question sometimes comes when we are putting a solar photovoltaic in any place. If we are doing with a battery, the question is will it going to feed how many ACs, how many
คุณได้ยินไหม
refrigerators, how many fans, and
Maybe you
Can you
come here
hear?
and say this because then he can
He
respond.
can hear, yes. Again, please.
Sir, I repeat my question.
Yes.
Sir, I repeat my question is sometimes that is asked whenever we are putting a system somewhere. So capacity, the like whatever the consumption is there. If we are using a battery, the question will be asked how much it can sustain. Like how many ACs, refrigerator, electric lamp, and fans, etc. Wherever it is used. So with a battery, is that is restricted? Is we cannot put all of the house on the battery.
No, all.
Can we?
All.
Yes, I think that's just basically accounting of the energy supply and demand.
Huh.
So if we know exactly what the demand curve will be, we can always size a system to be adequate to supply whatever you want.
Sir, like take an example over here. Like in domestic houses, like we go for a 10 kilowatt, maximum 10-15 kilowatt is the capacity of the houses. Like if we have to put the whole of the house on the battery, what will be the capacity of the battery? Like in case of 10 kilowatt, and how much size?
I think for our battery, maybe a 6 will be adequate because a 6 kilowatt system can always peak to above 10.
And peak
Can go up to 12.
3 times.
Yes.
It can go to 18.
Yes.
Yes, but you lose some efficiency.
Some efficiency.
So
During
that is not a problem. If the grid is not there,
Yes.
means we can run the whole house on the battery.
Yes, yes.
For the
Yes,
6
of course.
kilowatt battery,
Yes.
means we can run the whole house.
And charging one car.
Exactly.
Oh, that's great. That's it.
Yeah. That is the whole concept.
Chandu, the moment he said that it is DC output, he has answered your question. Onward, there is no change in the system.
Sir, but if we have
When you are getting from the solar, you are getting a DC.
AC sir, इन्वर्टर कन्वर्ट करके हाँ वो तो डीसी है पैनल में तो डीसी है
Right?
हाँ जी
Same is the situation here.
हाँ जी हाँ जी
So onward, that inverter is the same, and the entire system
अच्छा वो
is not to be solved.
वो
Simply, but just
yeah got it sir. In natural cases, the inverter is we understand it is doing like job, but in case of battery,
that's our part of the
system. What kind of
which will
inverter
remain
you are
more or less
putting on?
unchanged, and theoretically and practically, we can achieve whatever we wish to achieve
Yes,
as we are doing it today.
Power is there.
It's only the source will change.
Source will change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, you solved this problem.
All right.
Good.
Okay.
We
So
can, we can have a match it together.
yes, yes,
That's
yes.
the punch.
Okay, so maybe I'll let them go.
Yeah.
There is a research going by the Ministry of Renewable Energy for the off-grid systems. Like
Yes.
in areas, tribal areas like Andaman Nicobar, there are some islands where their grid is not possible for those areas.
Yes.
Somebody is doing it. I am in touch with the gentleman. So we would like to. I will pass on to your information so that he can also take your system in his whatever. Like,
See deceleration and other things. Very good example which you put it on.
so he can put this in his PhD work and give it to the government also. That if it is viable, they can turn out some pilot project.
Yes.
But
One of the-
project is done. That will,
One of the projects that we will be doing, that we about to do at Burapha University, is to do desalination.
these are-
Yes. but we call อะไรนะ forward desalination ใช่ไหม
Forward osmosis.
forward osmosis
Yes,
reverse osmosis
not reverse. Forward osmosis.
osmosis it require much less energy. That's what one of the projects that we're working on at the moment. Yes.
There is a project in Chennai, the offshore. So that works on the osmotic system. So that's been found much cheaper than any other system. Why use energy for desalination? People do that. If you go near the shore, there's a pick up a container, there's a machine cloth on top, put a small stone on there, so that it has a shapes for dripping. And you can get the water, the glass below that for every 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, depending on how much you can get the source of water.
That is the main job.
It will depend on situations. If you don't have an osmotic system and that, then this is a very good technology.
Okay, so I think I'll let them go.
They can, yeah,
Okay.
They can be.
Alright โอเคขอบคุณมากครับเทพ
Okay.
นะเดี๋ยวผมก็กลับถึงวันจันทร์
Okay. ครับ
ขอบคุณครับ
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for staying longer. Suraj, thank you very much.
So thank you, Mr. Kun Kirsada, for illuminating us regarding the significant aspects of vanadium regenerative fuel cells and solar technologies and electric cars and other of his rich experiences with regard to alternate energy. Thank you so much, and we are really privileged to have you with us from Thailand in this important conference. Our next speaker is Mr. Krishna Khatri. He is ECBC coordinator and facilitator from ECBC cell in Punjab of Punjab Energy Development Agency. This agency is working for energy efficiency and renewable energy sources promotion and have done a lot of work in this particular area. And he is basically a mechanical engineer and green building consultant and working for energy efficiency in the buildings. So I'll request him to kindly present his views on energy conservation and building code.
Morning and
Soft copy.
I'll take it.
So warm greetings to all of you. So before proceeding to the presentation, let me give you